What's up, you guys? Just a quick update on how Recovery Month is going. About 15 days ago, I decided I'm not going to lift any heavy weights, not going to run, not going to jump, not going to throw things or do anything that's physically harsh or demanding in terms of exercise. And I did that because I started my social media thing about 4 years ago, April of 2020. And every single day, like every single day, I have posted something. And uh, most of those posts involve me doing some kind of a workout and then posting what I thought would be the most interesting or at least entertaining thing for you to watch. And I'm now at the point where none of my workouts feel like they are in any way helping me. They actually every time I go out there now, I feel like I'm breaking myself down more and more, and I literally feel like I'm on the edge of injury. I'm very resilient to injury, and it rarely happens, but I just feel like I am at a point now where, I mean, just going up and down stairs is just a chore, and getting out of a chair, at least it was 2 weeks ago. It's gotten much better, but I'm just quickly going to go over some of the things that I've done in the last 15 days that I feel have made a huge difference in my recovery status. And yeah, all right. So, number one is I have made it a high priority to get more sleep. That was something. I'm 55 years old, and since I was a teenager, I've averaged less than 5 hours of sleep. I know that's horrible, but that is literally, that's how much sleep I get. I somehow, my body just got stuck in a loop of that. Probably had something to do with the stage 3 colon cancer I had 12 years ago, and I certainly don't want that or any other cancer to come back. So based on how busted up I'm feeling from just doing all my exercise and getting older, and my sleep just kind of not really being up to snuff, I have made that a huge priority, a big, big priority. And now I'm up to about 6 to 6.5 hours. And I know that's far from what is required for optimal health, but I have to take this in little steps, just like for people that are just starting a workout. For me, it's harder for me to get enough sleep than it is for a lot of people to exercise more. It's something that I always just worked my life around 5 hours of sleep. So that has been my number one commitment over the last, not just the last 15 days. I started that a few months ago. Okay, so that's been huge. Obviously, I got a red light therapy lamp. I want to thank EMR Tech for this powerful red light therapy lamp. This is the first one I've ever owned. I got it 2 weeks ago. I have used it every single day. I'm not trying to sell this thing to you. If you believe this is hooey or whatever, good on you. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. But I've lived in this body for a long time, and I kind of have a pretty good sense of when something works for me and when it doesn't. And whatever these lamps do, I know they have something to do with mitochondria and angiogenesis and all these terms that are like from like my high school science days. But this thing is making a big difference in my inflammation and in my recovery status. So I'm loving red light therapy. I just absolutely, this is going to be probably a permanent part of my future. Okay, so also I'm still using the BPC-157 and TB500 peptides. I want to thank Marek Health for helping me over the last 4 months with my peptide therapies. I was getting some results from them, but to be honest, at the time in my first 2 to 3 months into doing the peptides, I was a little disappointed that my joints especially weren't feeling better, that I was still constantly sore, yet I could load them heavier. Like my deadlift, my squat, everything I tried went up. So my joint tolerance during exercise was definitely improved. But everything was just still stiff and sore and painful when I was just walking around the house or just getting in and out of my car. But I also knew that I was training too much. I wasn't recovering enough. I wasn't sleeping enough. My diet was not that great. So to be fair to the peptides and to actually give them a chance to work, I've stopped loading myself. I've stopped running hard energy through my body. And now I have to say in the last 2 weeks, those peptides are starting to definitely take hold. I am feeling much better. My joints, the muscle tension, everything is just coming down. And so I'm happy now. And I actually feel like I'm creating an environment for those peptides to actually do what they're required to do, because I think I was simply breaking my body down daily much faster than the peptides could build it back up. So yeah, one lesson I learned as an older guy is before you blame someone or something else, first look on yourself and see what it is that you're doing that's contributing to the issue that you might be blaming erroneously on something else. Anyway, just old guy wisdom. Okay, and then for my training, I have not picked up a weight, like any serious kind of weight, except handing weights to my clients. I have not lifted any weights for the last 15 days. I did take a walk with a weighted backpack the other day, but that was no problem. But all of my training right now is body weight training. I'm using Kaatsu blood flow restriction air bands on my arms and on my legs. And what makes them different from other blood flow restriction devices is they actually have computerized pumps on them that intermittently inflate and restrict blood flow into my limb for 60 seconds, and then they deflate and let blood back into my limb for 30 seconds, and they just keep doing that in a cycle mode. And I time my super light or body weight partial range of motion movements for the 60-second cycle of being restricted, and then when they release, I rest for 30 seconds while the blood re-enters my limb, and the old blood with all the metabolic good stuff goes back into my system. And once again, I know it's a controversial topic and technology, and I'm not here to convince you or sell you. I do have a partnership with Kaatsu. I love that product and the company, but you don't have to buy anything from them or believe in blood flow restriction at all. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and those have had a huge effect in making my very super ridiculously light workouts have a much more therapeutic effect in terms of how they're building some of my, I feel like the capillaries in my hands and my feet got damaged by chemotherapy I had 12 years ago. So I don't have normal nervous and blood or vascular function in my extremities. That's why I'm really focusing on things like the air bands and the red light therapy, because both of those are supposed to help me build and strengthen the vascular capacity and components of my body, because I need extra help there. So anyway, that's why I'm using those. Ooh, this is getting long. If you're still here, I really greatly appreciate you. And if you have any questions regarding what I'm doing, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. But main thing is, if you're feeling busted up, and especially if you're older like I am, and you were dumb enough to only get less than 5 hours of sleep and see if you could train hard every single day for 4 years straight, if you're feeling even remotely like that, I do recommend. It's one of the best things you could ever do. Might even save your life, because I literally felt like I was on the edge of like just keeling over. So hopefully you'll get a similar effect as I did. Anyway, much love and aloha to all of you, and I'll be checking in soon. Bye.